sir, and a very good morning to all the participants. Just to give a brief introduction of our respected speaker, Dr. C. Bhuvaneswaran is Scientist G and Head Silviculture and Forest Management Division, Institute of Forest Genetics and Tree Breeding, Coimbatore. Sir has done his MSc from TNAU Coimbatore and PhD from FRI Dehradun. Sir has joined in as a scientist in Institute of Forest Genetics and Tree Breeding in 1997. Sir has done a lot of work on windbreaks and handled a number of projects on ecological impact of coastal afforestation, productivity and nutrient cycling studies under teak plantations, carbon sequestration potential of trees in plantation and agroforestry systems. Sir has also done work on soil carbon stocks in various forest types in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andaman, and Nicobar Islands. Besides this, Sir has been associated with All India Coordinated Research Project on silviculture, on casuarina, on sandalwood, on tree fodders, forest hydrology, then developing volume table, biomass table, mobile apps for yield estimation in plantations of Melia dubia, Elanthus excelsa, and Melina arborea. And since this talk is related to windbreaks and shelter belts, Sir has developed and released 5 superior tree varieties of casuarina for windbreak agroforestry, particularly to protect agricultural and horticultural crops from wind damage. And Sir has also developed a number of mobile apps, and he has a patent for tree mean diameter estimation from terrestrial images using digital camera. Besides this, Sir has also developed a number of technologies related to forestry in peninsular India. So with this brief introduction of our respected speaker, just to give you as a background of our participants, we have more than 100 participants registered for this summer school on agroforestry. We have covered a number of lectures pertaining to various aspects and dimensions of agroforestry research and extension in our country and also across the globe. Sir, this is a very special lecture because I'm a agroforestry student or a scientist, you can say, but I have not been able to. I mean, there is limited literature available on windbreaks and shelter beds. Shelter beds, what I have observed. So this is a very good opportunity for all our participants, especially PG and PhD scholars, to have their doubts cleared, especially with respect to windbreaks and shelter belts. And this is a very important aspect of agroforestry research in our country because you know that wind erosion is a very significant having a significant impact on our associated crop species or horticultural crops. So in that respect, this has an added importance. So I hope this lecture will be very beneficial for our researchers, for our scientists who have joined from KVK. And sir, the composition of the participants is like we have maximum from agroforestry background, but a good number of participants is from other streams like horticulture, soil science, agronomy, and veterinary sciences. Sir, your presentation is visible, you are audible, and I, on behalf of the organizing committee, welcome you for sparing your time. The floor is, sir, yours. So you may start your presentation, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Sushil Agmal, sir. Very good morning to all participants. Thanks, Dr. Sushil Agmal, sir, for a nice introduction of myself. And it's a very excellent composition of participants. So horticulturists are there and soil scientists are there. And I also got surprised that when you look for literature on windbreak from our subcontinent, our India, it will be very meager. But it was also surprising for me, and it will be surprising for everyone that windbreaks, in fact, it's not at all a new subject. It's like our agroforestry. We used to define agroforestry, it's an age-old practice. So, and it is when I look Google Ngram viewer, many of you may be knowing, and others, if you don't know, you can have this idea. Ngram, Google Ngram viewer. If you type a word, it will say since when this terminology is in usage. So when I look for windbreak, the terminology, how long it is there in literature, it goes back to 1880s. So when I searched parallelly climate change, that is being used from 1980 onwards. So that is the kind of analysis I got. So it is really a very old subject. We have a lot of literature, but from Western countries, not from India. So we may be straight away, our mind will say the windbreak means it is for breaking wind speed and protecting crop or soil from heavy wind. But when I really look the literatures, I was able to make synthesize, I can say, that the windbreak has its influence on what we call it as Panchabhutas, that is all aspects, all elements of nature. So it's not a simple conclusion I have made. It is the conclusion from the available literatures, whatever I read through. So we can say, I will make it as simple sentences, but for every statement, we have a lot of literature to support the statement. So the first Buddha among Panchabhuta, if I take earth, so we can relate that. So it is directly the first and foremost benefit of windbreak is reducing soil erosion. And literature says it is up to 76%. That is a huge percentage, and really it is very good. What even I have attended training in soil and water conservation institutes in Uti, and I am 30 years, for almost 30 years in the forestry research and visiting institutes. We are seeing in India that soil erosion means we only concerned about soil erosion by water. There are enough of projects done and technologies developed, and we are really working on a lot on soil erosion by water. But when it comes to soil erosion by wind, it is not at all being recorded. That is another important thing. And kind of loss what we make in wind erosion is very, very important, because the top layer, the organic layer and the fine soil, that is getting eroded by wind. That is another important aspect of the soil erosion by wind. So many things to be done, and there are no measurement on one side, and there are no control measures also. look for in this subject. And one thing, we lose the soil, that eroded soil is also impacting the other area. So such studies and reports are being developed, not here, but in Western countries. So they are measuring it. The Western countries, they make measurements and they make measures for wind erosion. And next to Banjapura, we can take this water. And when we really look into the literature, the evapotranspiration loss is reduced up to 16%. In turn, the water use efficiency is increased by 64%. So I make it as a simple sentence, simple title, but definitely when you look for literature, umpteen number of literatures available from, again, Western countries. So this is excellent. Windbreaks are excellent tool. And in the context of now, we are more concerned about water use efficiency. Those days are gone. So we just look for productivity in agriculture or forestry, everywhere. We were looking for variety and then yield. The productivity only was concerned. Now we are in a critical juncture. We have to have an idea about for how much of water we get that productivity. So we have to develop varieties which are more water use efficiency, and we have to have a practice, agronomic practices which enhances the water use efficiency. So in that context as well, this windbreaks can have a great role, a great role. And our government is really working on this aspect as more drop per drop. So that context also, we have to look the windbreak. This is evapotranspiration. So though I said the literatures are available right from 1800, 80, 86, and even up to date, it is a 2020 literature, again from other countries. They are really working on to what extent the windbreaks are really helpful in addressing the recent problem of climate vagaries due to climate change we are facing in our agro-ecosystem. So the clear data are available. With windbreak, definitely the evapotranspiration loss is minimized. And 2020 again, there is a review paper, and again they conclude that definitely the introduced tree shelter belts are suitable eco-engineering approach. They reduce water consumption and to enhance the water use efficiency. So clear-cut evidences, clear-cut data literatures are available to support that statement. Now another Panjapura we call fire. I take and relate that as the temperature above the cropping area. So there is definitely a moderation of microclimate in terms of soil and air temperature. This is one of my project work in during my PG studies. I could record the soil temperature fluctuation in open area, immediately adjoining open area, and in the tree stands. So that was my MSc project work, though it is very old literature, but it was very interesting for me as a PG student to record that soil temperature every day, morning and evening, and
Sir,
see.
just a minute, sir.
Ah,
Just a minute, sir. There is a pop-up in your slide, sir, where it is stop sharing, hide. Kindly click this hide option.
okay,
Uh,
Yes, perfectly fine.
thank you, sir. Please proceed, sir. Please go on.
okay. Some problem was there. I have to repeat my presentation.
No, sir,
Please
please continue.
carry on.
Huh?
Please.
I will continue. Okay, okay. So this is what my MSc studies, and from those days onwards, I keep on reading literature on microclimate effect by tree stands. Uh, uh, Studies are there supporting documents on microclimate, particularly the temperature and soil temperature also. And next, Panchabhuta, I take the sky. I'm relating to the immediate sky above our cropping area, where this windbreak has high influence on having high relative humidity. Because when the evapotranspiration happens in an open field, that is immediately will be carried away by the uh, wind factors. When you have wind breaks around the crop, then there is a buildup of relative humidity, and it is reported 2 to 4% higher than open area, and it is an average value. There will be uh, still higher relative humidity when there is a continuous wind uh, flow in the open area. So, what what is the kind of help it is going to do? You may think. So, what will be the benefit? And this another Panchapuda is, yeah, wind speed. This is, we all directly relate wind breaks to reducing the wind speed. So wind speed, one way it is the heavy wind speed we immediately imagine. A very high speed wind, which is destructive to the crop or to the soil. But very fine literatures are there, observations are there from again Western countries. What they have done, they have done the wind speed and with a windbreak area and then the open area and then the pollinators visit. So they have observed that when the crop field is protected with windbreak, the pollinators are more, both in terms of diversity as well as in terms of number of pollinators. So that was very, very interesting. So it impacts factor Panchabuddhas, but indirectly it has the benefit. Here, the wind speed reduction has enhanced the pollinator visit, and the relative humidity, what it does, that enhances pollen viability. There are studies where you get good makes the enhancing crop productivity in the wind protected area. So this is like any other agroforestry system. This windbreak and agroforest system leads to simultaneous production of both food and wood. That is more important. And when you have several diversity of tree species, and we can diversify the uh, produce from windbreak as well. So whatever I told, excellent a flowchart kind of thing has been made. So many benefit, and then in turn, the tree windbreak finally leads to enhancing productivity. So as I said, there are literature, specific literature saying the enhancing of productivity is available. Very specific literature on water use efficiency. So the study conducted with windbreak and without windbreak, and the wheat productivity was assessed. So with the cuprous isonic windbreak, for 1 meter cube of water, the kind of productivity yield is 1.15 kg with windbreak, and without windbreak it is 0.7 kg for a meter cube of water. Such a excellent detailed studies are available, again saying that definitely there is a benefit of windbreaks for enhancing water use efficiency. This is a very specific and this we all know. So the common what we can say is the common man thinking. Common man thinking is that windbreaks, yes, I can have, but it will be good for a well irrigated kind of system, and it cannot be a beneficial system in a dry land condition. But contradicting to a common man feeling, windbreaks offer protection from climate warming for dry land non-production. This is uh, a study-based conclusion. So this we have to seriously think about it. So it is a common man feeling that when you have a tree component, it can be possible in a irrigated condition, not for a dry land condition. So it's a wrong assumption, you can say. And there is a very good review, and they once again conclude that this is a very, very important agroforest system. Windbreaks are important agroforest systems which has ecological benefits. Really, really, particularly for Indian condition, there's a lot of thought process to be had, and we have to have a policy making. So in general agroforestry, everyone talks, but specific agroforestry system is forgotten. So really it needs policy level intervention as well. And once again, review, it is in 2021. So it is clearly concluding that windbreaks agroforestry as a climate smart agriculture practice. So we have many strategies to make our agriculture climate smart, and having windbreaks is one of the strategy. Definitely, it will lead to our agro ecosystem a climate smart agriculture. Um, when we see, they are working on, they are discussing the conference seminars happens in Western countries about renovation of windbreaks. That means they have done enough and they have established. Now they are in the stage they are discussing on renovation of existing. They have 100-year-old windbreaks, 50-year-old windbreaks, 30-year-old windbreaks, and every state they have a plan of establishing windbreak and they are achieving it. So that way, this as a country program, it is happening. Windbreaks, establishing windbreaks, and I got an interesting statistic from Canada, and the average percentage of farm fields having windbreaks is almost 40%. And every state-wise, there are figures. And there are states having 50% farmlands with windbreaks or shelter beds. So very, very interesting. So that way, it is, if we just imagine what kind of percentage of farmlands in our country will have windbreaks. So it's a guess. I guess less than maybe 5% will be our statistics. So there is a scope and there is advantage, unless otherwise such huge benefits for farmlands, this kind of system will not be promoted. Right? And when I look the kind of species, what are all the species used in other countries, there is a scope of introducing our Thespecia for windbreaks. There is Erythrina-based windbreaks places and bamboo-based. And our sister institute in RFRI, right now they have initiated developing bamboo-based windbreak very recently. And again, Giliricidia-based windbreak is possibility, Arakaria, and this is in Tamil Nadu, Polyalthia-based windbreak system. And there is a different kind of studies, researchers they are making it. As I told, this is 70-year-old windbreak system. So they are studying the kind of soil carbon accumulation in 70-year-old windbreak system, and then adjoining cultivated field. So the huge variation in soil carbon accumulation, they are able to report. And I was told in the beginning that there are horticulturists. So we feel that only when there is a problem of crop damage by wind, the windbreaks we are to deploy. It is not like that. So every orchard, every fruit orchards can have windbreaks, because the review which clearly narrates right from the survival up to the harvest, fruit yield, different level of benefits. It is the review article says for orchard crop, if you have windbreaks, it enhances survival. And I told you the pollination can be enhanced. The fruit set is increased. Not only the productivity, the fruit yield, not only the increase of yield, the quality of fruits. There are literatures, there are evidences which says that there is an improvement in fruit quality. How it is? So when wind is there, the branches rubs the fruits. So that way there is a chances of damaging the fruits, the surface of fruit, particularly the citrus orchard. There are reports. So with the heavy wind, the branches rubbing on fruits, the quality of fruits goes down. So yeah, wind breaks enhances the fruit quality. And root breakages and immature fruit fall. We are seeing in the newspaper, nowadays it is increasing in number, the incidents are increasing, that immature fruit fall. So there are fruit set is there, a sudden heavy wind comes and all immature fruits are fallen. And farmers are reporting and claiming for some compensation kind of thing. That is, we are seeing in newspaper. And whether it is fertilizer application or pesticide application, that also it makes very controlled environment. And in a cold climate, windbreaks can help in frost management. Up to that, very detailed review of that paper with all supporting literatures are available. So through windbreaks, not just for minimizing wind speed. That's what I am trying. And for orchards, it has many benefits. So this is one in New Zealand. This they have mainly for this cool temperature effect and scorching thing. This is how that normalization of wind speed happens when the wind breaks are there. Now, I want to share what is that IRGTP has made initiatives in this subject. This is our institute at Coimbatore. It is institute under ICFR, Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education at Dehradun. And I used to see a lot of news in the newspaper dailies. In our region, western region, this is Coimbatore, we are adjoining to Kerala, the Western Ghat. There is a gap, we call it as a gap. In that gap, we receive a heavy wind blowing and damaging every year a huge number of crops, mainly the banana crop. So that was the event. And fortunately, IFGTP is the leading institute which has great number of germ blossom in Kashmir. So we have assembled all of germ blossom from all over the world, and we have excellent germ blossom. We can have a selection for any traits. So one of the traits which we look for is the branching characteristics in the available germ blossom. So we were able to make a selection, and then we studied the rooting percentage, and then that is important in the selection. We may have a excellent mother tree, but when you have the rooting problem, then it will be difficult to later stage on mass multiplication and launching stage, it will be a big problem. So we were very, from our experience, this all came. And so from the beginning itself, now we look for parallelly the rooting percentage of the mother tree. That is very, very important. So as it is vary from 40 to 94%, so we can see the difference. So we are screening out the mother tree, though the traits are very good, but when rooting is poor, the clonal forestry will become a difficult circle. So we had initial assessment in our own campus, and then we went for a trial, and we developed a new uh, model, design, which I have published in Journal of Tree Science, and specific model to evaluate clones of windbreaks in the farmland condition. And we introduced check clone also. So commonly used hybrid clone as a check clone, against which we evaluated our selected windbreak clones in a banana field. And there were huge variations. And another important thing we developed is a cumulative superiority index. So based on not only the branching rate, we included depth and height. Productivity also equally important. So we had depth, height, number of branches, branch length, branch angle, branch thickness, all equal weightage we have given, and cumulative superiority index against the check flow. That was our methodology to select the windbreak clones. And most important thing, another parameter we can say is branch persistence. That is very, very important for the when you look for clones for windbreaks. So we had clear differences among the clones. There were clones with self-pruning, and there were clones with high level of branch persistence. So the team evaluated, recommended, and now we released in 2014. We were able to release, officially, following all the procedures of release of clones, and we have released. And we have released 5 varieties, IFDTP windbreak clone 1 to 5. What is that superiority of these clones? It is greater branch thickness, wider branch angle, and then growth rate and diametrical growth. So everything is so within 3-meter height, we will have 40 to 50 branches. That is more important, and we popularize through extension thing. And the important question people will ask, what is the kind of interaction and what is the kind of influence on crop? That also we have studied. And in the initial 3 years, the impact on crop versus when it reaches 4 years growth, 2 rows of banana got impacted for its growth. So that is so by the time it comes to harvest, we call it as a short rotation windbreak system, and we can have same as a long rotation windbreak system. So now 2 concepts we are promoting, and we have observed that is another question. Really, it is protecting the crop. Yes, there is a windbreak. Banana with windbreak, banana without windbreak. There was incidence of heavy wind, and the inside windbreaks, the banana crop was intact, and the crop also intact. And in short term windbreak agroforest system, there is a scope of getting the yield with 600 trees around and 20 tons the farmer got, and that time it was 5,000 per ton, and on farm rate I'm telling, excluding the cutting and transport charge, that with the winter, and farmer got 1 lakh rupees from the 600 trees. They gave him 20 tons. That was excellent study. And while harvesting, we were able to see and notice that the banana crop, the leaves were not torn. They were all excellent leaf system was there. And the adjoining to the field, there was a same age banana crops were there, and the leaves were all torn due to heavy wind. So that another observation while we are doing the harvesting, we could see. And most recently, we were able to see that we can get a coffee crop from these clones. That is excellent added advantage. So once harvested, we will have a coffee crop. So this is a coffee crop standing, and this is really beneficial to farmers. This traits. This we are not tested or evaluated or we look for, but it is there. As I told, the yield also we assessed. Really, there is a kind of increase in yield of agriculture crop. So 2 seasons we have studied consequently, 2018 and 19. Definitely, there is a per square meter area we have studied, and yield increase was there in red gram. It's a tall variety, 08, released by TNAU, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. You can see there is a large of the red gram. It is a same farmer's field, adjoining field, I can say. It is not far away field. It is a very much adjoining field, and this is a field. So that is very interesting to observe. So definitely it is benefiting farmer. It is in lemon orchard, our windbreak clones are deployed. It is in turmeric field, paddy field in coastal belt in Tanjore, Delta region of Tamil Nadu, farmers introduced. And it's a very drought area also. It is doing a very excellent growth performance. It is in Tirunelveli district of Tamil Nadu. It's a very dry belt, and it is in coconut field, Keli. We are reaching out farmers. That is more important. You develop system or you develop variety, you develop clone, but reaching out is much more important. For the past 10 years, I can say 2014 we released, we are reaching out farmers. This is another good example. We have done a demo plot in Agriculture Institute, Vanavaraya Institute of Agriculture in Pollachi. So when farmers coming for any other training, they will be seeing, they will get an idea. It is that technology is getting transferred. It is a traditional silvipasture system in Tamil Nadu. That is Congayam belt, we call it. Normally, there will be Acacia leucoploia and Sencera ciliaris based silvipasture system. There also, we wanted to introduce windbreak, and we are studying the kind of benefits for the grass yield. Another important role in this, our studies, teak plantation need to have windbreak, because teak is very sensitive to wind. This an additional information. Whoever is interested in teak plantation, if it is wind affected area, definitely wind is an unfavorable factor for teak. This everyone please know that, and have information. We have excellent studies and reports, and this is 5-year-old teak in a wind-prone area. So the growth height is limited to 2-meter height. Very sensitive. Teak is very sensitive, and we have data and observation to prove that. And when I looked into oldest literature in 1884, There are Morgan, one Britisher, he has written a diary. So tea grows everywhere well, but not in a wind affecting area. That is very, very interesting to note. And biomass allocation gets varied, and quality of wood also gets varied due to wind factor. So when there is a heavy wind and there is a evapotranspiration loss is heavy, a tree has to retain more hardwood. So that means less hardwood. So that is the kind of relation wind has for tree relation to quality of wood. This I have published in Springer publication. Very clear data we have. It is another Ramnath district. Many of you may be knowing that it is the driest district in Tamil Nadu, but we were able to successfully establish tonal windbreaks under the state planning commission for that project. And this is an interesting story that lemon orchard in Vanavarai Agriculture Institute, Prachi Agriculture Institute, farmland. This happened when the lemon orchard alone was there without windbreak. There was a heavy, less fruit set due to the flower fall and immature fruit fall and all there problem. And then when the windbreaks are introduced, clear increase in fruit set was recorded and observed. It is in the Agriculture Institute campus. This is the data recorded. So mango orchard can have now it is not only serving the farmer, industrial, they are getting our windbreak loans where it is just abatement role in place in coil industries and then sand crushers units. The industrialists, they are purchasing our windbreak from import unit. This is added benefit to this. Even people get our windbreak loans and establish the local heads. The uniformity we get and less number of plants is sufficient. When you establish a Kashmir hedge with ceiling, you require a kind of number of ceilings and uniformity will be there. So I conclude here that windbreak is not just for this wind speed. It is for crop productivity, water productivity, qualitative improvement of produce, sustainability, and climate change resilience. So we have our own future research purposes of developing indigenous species and some more studies on tree-crop interactions and hardwood formation and water use efficiency. Our own data we want to have, and the access we want to have studies. And there are calcium signaling related to wind effect in tree species, which in turn makes the trees very small shorter. So I conclude with the JC Bose statement that plants has life. They may not be able to tend to, they have life, and it will also require protection. So one of the way to give protection to plants. This is my dream. Our entire country will all farm, at least 50% of farm will have windbreaks, and all those benefits are harvested. Thank you. Sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir, I have a video. Can I play 8 minutes video? That will summarize everything. If needed, otherwise no problem.
Yeah, you can share it. We'll split at least 1 or 2 minutes. We can watch that video as well.
8 minutes video, sir.
You please unshare it.
Later you can see also the ITTP has YouTube channel.
Alternatively, sir, you can do one thing. You can share that video to me. I will share that in the WhatsApp group that we have created for the participants.
That will be fine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will share that. Yes, sir.
So thank you very much, sir, for your
sir.
talk on windbreaks. I hope the talk was very beneficial for the participants. If any questions are there, I request all the participants to interact with our speaker. They can put their queries in the chat box as well. You can directly unmute and interact with our speaker. Dr. Rishi Kalaria, you have raised hand. Do you want to say something? Dr. Rishi? Dr. Rishi? Any question, any clarification from the participants? We have the contact details of Bhuvaneswaran sir. I will share the details in WhatsApp group in case anybody is having any question or query. We can get in touch with our speaker. Sir, we are in the process of compiling all the lectures. If possible, sir, please share your lecture notes so that we can bring a compendium for our participants.
Sure, sir. Sure. Any
Sir,
time
good
limit,
afternoon.
sir?
Yes, very
Hello,
good.
good afternoon, sir. This is from Ramakrishna from Hyderabad.
Yeah, please.
Sir, regarding this, we have in Telangana